Welcome to a presentation of Comprehension Coach for EDGE on MyNG Connect. MyNGConnect.com is the web portal for resources from National Geographic Learning. This tutorial is going to walk you through the use and benefit of Comprehension Coach with your students using EDGE. EDGE is the 9-12 high school program for language learners and/or striving readers. Comprehension Coach is an added subscription provided to you from National Geographic Learning. Let's take a look. You should already have your account on myngconnect.com. If not, please check with your administrator so that you can obtain your username and login. As an educator, you would log in here, and your students would actually log in here. For this demo, we will be using a teacher account, and I am currently logged into a teacher account for EDGE. Just to give you a brief overview of the website itself, I will highlight just a couple of things before we launch the Comprehension Coach. At the top of the banner of your home page is where you will find, by using this drop menu, all of your rostered classes. So if you teach more than one level of EDGE, you will find all of those classes listed here. This particular account is a demo account that we are currently in, and we are looking at the class entitled All EDGE. So all levels of EDGE are actually available using this demo account. Fundamentals, Level A with its Teacher's Editions, Levels B, and Level C as well. For our purposes today, we will be using Level B. In addition to this drop menu at the top of your banner, there is also a help button. The help button, if you click it, will provide for you a user manual, and that user manual will help you navigate through all of the resources available on myngconnect.com. You could save this manual. It is a PDF. You could save this manual to your hard drive or even to a jump drive so that you can access it whenever you need. We are going to use this tutorial to view Comprehension Coach. Comprehension Coach can be launched by using this icon. We'll click this icon and we'll go into Level B and launch Comprehension Coach. Choose a selection. I knew that she would start talking and I would hesitate. And so you'll hear me do that as we progress through this, so that you can hear what your students will hear as they navigate through the Comprehension Coach as well. I will make one note here immediately for your knowledge and for your information. We are currently logged in as a teacher, not as a student, but we will be viewing this as a student. But because we are logged in as a teacher, all of the data will be cleared. So when I log out of this account, what I save will disappear. If I were logged in as a student, of course that information would be saved for the student and also for you, the teacher. Comprehension Coach is a subscription resource for students, so that's why that data is not saved in this demo account logged in as a teacher. There is a Help Me video, which is different from what you are currently viewing, and it uses REACH, our elementary program, to actually demonstrate it for you. You could actually view that if you choose, or you can view this video as often as you please. So we are in Comprehension Coach, and if we wanted to end it, we could click this red button here, and that would end or quit the coach. But we are in, and we are going to read the necklace. As soon as I launch this, a couple of things will happen. So let the system do its job first, and then I will continue to talk. To answer
questions while you read, click the red Q icon. To practice reading out loud, click Record.
So I wanted you to hear what students will hear when they click the selection. So Comprehension Coach will do two things. The first thing is allow students to answer comprehension questions about the selection they've read. There are 3 types of comprehension questions embedded within Comprehension Coach: multiple choice, true, false, or identify the passage. I'm not sure if we will see them all within this tutorial, but I want you to be aware of them. True, false, students are given the one chance to answer the question correctly. Multiple choice, students can attempt to answer the question a couple of times, as well as identify the passage. They can attempt to answer the question a couple of times. Students earn points when they answer the question correctly each time. They get fewer points when they don't get it right the first time. So with true, false, they either will get all of the questions, they either will get all of the points or they will get 0 points because they only have that one chance. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Q so that we can see the first way that students can use Comprehension Coach. I'm going to click OK. And there are no comprehension questions on the first page, so I'll turn. And you see one of the comprehension questions. It's a red box with a white Q here. And I'll click that question, and it happens to be multiple choice. Students can listen to the directions as well as listen to the passage.
Mathilde wants fancy clothes and expensive jewels so that she can marry a man who is a clerk. Other people will be jealous of her. Other people can borrow her things. She can feel worthless.
So those are my 4 options. If I miss it the first time, I'll have an opportunity to answer again. So I want to answer so she can feel worthless. So
sorry, please try again.
I know that that is the incorrect answer, so it's giving me the opportunity to go back and do it again. I could actually go to this section where the question is to find the answer. So I want to say this is the correct answer. And submit. And now this time I got the question correct. So we'll move on to the next question. I know that there are additional questions for this passage because there's a blue arrow here pointing to the right that is still activated. When I've finished reading everything that is available for this selection, that will turn gray. So there are a couple of other questions here. This one is an identify the passage. So the student sees the passage here, and there's a question. Mathilde's reaction to the invitation was different from what her husband thought it would be. Click the part of the text that shows that. So I am going to highlight this section and try to see if that's the correct answer.
Sorry, please try again.
What did it say? Instead, she threw the oven. Her reaction was different from what she thought it was. Oh, sorry. And notice I have 2 tries left. And now let's see if that's correct.
Correct.
Yay! I didn't read my statement very well. So now you've seen a multiple choice, you've seen an identify the passage, and let's just take a chance to see if this one will, what type of question this one will be. It's another identify the passage. A woman must have more than a fancy dress to go to a party. Click the part of the text that shows this. Let's take a chance.
Correct.
Yay! And I will turn one more page. And I know that I'm at the end of this section because now that turns gray. And hopefully one of these will be true false for us. This one, and I'm just going to miss this one, hopefully. Oh, I get it right. Just my luck. And let's see if this one is true false. And it is also. Oh,
Sorry. Please
I
try
missed that
again.
one. It's because I didn't read it. Let's try this one. Okay.
Correct.
Even though the third type of question, which is multiple choice, was not indicated here, know that students will encounter that within some selections. So the three types of questions that students can respond to within Comprehension Coach would be identify the passage, multiple choice, or true false. And I would like to say at this point that these are unique questions from what you may have encountered with students in the classroom. These are not questions that are in the student book or in your teacher's edition, but specific to Comprehension Coach. And I earned my points, and you'll see that in just a moment. Now, the second activity that accompanies Comprehension Coach is the recording feature. And students can record themselves reading the passage to build fluency. And I'll switch to that mode by clicking here. You don't have to worry about, nor do students have to worry about, which section am I supposed to read. The system will automatically identify the passage as well as how much students need to read in order to generate their reading reports. So you get the pleasure of listening to me read the passage here as we click the record section.
Now, let's check your microphone. Put your headset on, like the way shown in the image, and click Next. After the beep,
I have my
please
headset.
count to 10, and click Next when you are done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Playback in progress. If you are able to hear your voice clearly, then click Next. If not, click Retry to record again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Your microphone is working fine.
All right, I am going to turn my computer down just a little bit because that was a little loud, and when I do the recording, I don't want it to be that loud for you. So students, it is highly recommended that students use headphones with a microphone because in the classroom, you know, there are a lot of other sounds that are going on, and as students are doing these recordings, we want it to be as clear as possible. So we strongly recommend that students use headsets with headphones attached to them. Now that I know my microwave, now that I know my microphone is working well, I'm going to click OK. Once I click OK, the passage that I need to read is going to appear, and I will read until it says I can stop reading, and that report is generated when I've read enough. So here we go.
3, 2, 1. Start reading here after the beep. Click Next when you are done.
She was one of those beautiful, charming women who are born as if by accident into a lower class family. Because of this, she did not even have a chance of meeting and marrying a rich, important man. Instead, she married a lowly clerk from the Ministry of Education. She had to dress plainly because she could not afford fine clothes or jewelry. This made her feel like someone of little worth. She thought that if she could dress well, other people might consider her more important. She was miserable, feeling that she had deserved a life of wealth and luxury. Her shabby apartment with its dingy walls, worn furniture, and ugly upholstery was an embarrassment to her. Any other woman in her class would not have noticed these things, but for her, they were a mark of her worthlessness. She dreamed of big rooms with thick carpets, bronze lamps, and fancy tapestries. She imagined two butlers napping in large, overstuffed chairs by a fire. Silk was draped from the walls, and priceless knickknacks cluttered delicate tables. She dreamed of tea with close friends and handsome men in stylish sitting rooms. At dinner, she watched her husband lift the lid of the soup tureen and exclaim with delight, "Ah, a good stew. There's nothing I like better." She imagined elegant dinner parties, shining silverware, dining rooms covered with tapestries of knights, ladies, and magical birds from fairy tales. She dreamed of delicious food served on expensive dishes and of flattery whispered and listened to with mysterious smiles. But she had no fancy clothes, no jewels, nothing. Those were the things she loved. She felt she was made for them. She wanted to please, to be envied, to be admired, and to be popular. So I have read enough for this recording because my reading report has now been generated. And I, if I were the student, would be able to listen to that recording immediately. But we're not going to listen to it. I won't torture you through that again. But I am going to activate the reading report so that you can see it. You see the exact same reports that students see. So when I click on my report, this report is specific for me in this particular case, and because I am looking at it as the teacher, this is the recording that teachers could access as well. There's a key code here indicating words not read correctly, words that I pronounced correctly, and words that I just missed. You also see a words correct per minute report. So this particular student is reading 114 words correct per minute out of a goal of 140. Now I'm going to stop here for just a moment. If this student were reading 75 words correct per minute out of 140 or 80 words correct per minute out of 140, they would be able to go back in immediately and re-record their passage. The benefit is, of course, they're practicing fluency. You, the teacher, would receive the last recording they saved. So if they did it 4 times, you would only get that 4th recording because it's being saved on the server, on National Geographic's server. So you get the last one. Those questions that I answered in the comprehension portion, I received a score of 22 out of the 25. It also generated for me a word practice report. So as I look in my report, I see there were words that I mispronounced, and so they become part of my word practice. So for me, the student, every word that I mispronounced would be here, and I would be able to listen to the word being pronounced correctly. I could say and record the word and then listen to myself and rate myself saying the word. This is an individual practice list. So each student's practice list is going to be specific to them based upon their reading and the words that they mispronounced during the reading. So I have my reading report as well as my word practice report. Those are the functions within that particular reading report. I'm going to close it for just a moment, And you see it takes me back to the comprehension coach. And that color key that I spoke of is here if I indicate it by clicking on it. I'm going to stop reading the comprehension coach portion. And these are the things that we're grayed out because we've answered those. And I want to make note of this page reference because I want to share something with you. And I'm going to stop the coach for just a moment. When I stop the coach, yes, I'm sure, it takes me back to just the student book. And if I am in the student book and I want to jump to that story, The Necklace, starts on page 67, I just want you to see that those cues that we saw when we were within the comprehension coach, those cues are no longer here because I'm no longer in comprehension coach. I am viewing the student edition of Level B of EDGE from the website. So they can view the selection itself while they are logged into their student edition account. But when in Comprehension Coach, and I will launch Comprehension Coach one more time and go back to Level B. Now I'm back within the coach. Notice I have been doing some reading. I've answered questions, and my reading report is here only because I've not yet signed out of this account. Once I log out of this account and come back to it, all of this data will be cleared. It will not be cleared when students are there, but just because I'm logged into a demo account as a teacher, that data is going to be cleared. You will have access if your district purchased Comprehension Coach from National Geographic Learning to support your students using EDGE. You will have access to this on your account as well, and you would be able to click in this section and actually see what students are doing. As a matter of fact, when you go into your class management tab, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. My mistake. When you go into your reports from your home page, you would be able to see data for Comprehension Coach and for your other resources. I don't know that it saved this particular one. I haven't logged out yet, so it still may. Note, because I did not log in as one of these students. But you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to see that data from your home page by clicking on your reports section. We hope that this has been a very beneficial tutorial for you using National Geographic's Comprehension Coach, and we are always here and available for you if you need us. Thank you for joining us, and have a great afternoon.